What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Ghosts in the Night, a hauntings and paranormal podcast.
That was snazzy.
It was snazzy, was I didn't really intend on doing the intro right then either, but
fuck it.
We'll do it. This is episode 150. Travis and I are here to enlighten you on Ohio werewolf sightings.
We're here. No beer. We're not used to it.
Yes, we're doing this one sober. Well, I'm doing it.
It's probably for the best.
Sober-ish.
I got pretty well drunk at the wedding.
I'm doing it sober-ish. We won't get into that.
Fuck it.
But Tyler's here, and this is Tyler's episode, so he's in the chat room. So join Tyler and say thank you for giving us this amazing and brilliant
this
idea.
Chair. I think this chair might be ready to be retired soon. If
you fall, make sure it's during the live stream. We could use the bump.
Yeah, you say that while your dog's right next to me.
Oh, Layla, you better move. Chupacabra, get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Let's see who viewed my things.
All right. Like I said, we're doing Ohio werewolf sightings. We are going to talk about one in particular case that was Tyler's idea. So if you want to give us ideas like that, you're more than welcome to. If you are a Patreon subscriber,
we need to figure that out.
What?
The movie.
But yeah, we'll get on it. But if you're a Patreon subscriber, we will definitely take your consideration for a podcast title or episode.
Yes,
we will do it. So Tyler, thank you very much for your support and showing up every week, at least for a little bit when you can with your work schedule.
Yes, Ohio does have a bunch of crazy shit in it. All of us fucking morons live in it.
Yes, that is true.
I could be mistaken for a cryptid at any point.
Another moderator. Did you show it?
What?
Did you hit show on his thing?
No, I don't have that. I'm logged in. I don't have this account on my phone.
Oh, because I was showing it because I don't hide shit from anybody, and it said another moderator. Ooh, we're being hacked. We've been hacked. China got us.
Yeah, well, fucking give us 1/1,000,000th of your population as subscribers. I'll take it.
Yes. Oh. Who is calling me during a podcast? You are getting declined. Damn it. People. All right. Yeah, but do us a favor. If you like our craziness, be sure to share this episode with your friends and everybody.
My Facebook story got... Oh, that's the wrong person. My Facebook story got some love. Are these going to do the hearts? It does the hearts.
It does the hearts. But be sure to share this with your friends. Or if you want to share it, copy it and record it and share it on TikTok. I don't care there, Izzy.
I'm literally, I was making a TikTok until my roommate came home because I forgot to put my fucking house key back on my key ring after I got back in town because I gave it to the girl that watched the dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got up there. I had my food and shit in my hand. I was like, my first day back at work after a weekend out of town. Fuck. And then I called him and he was like, oh yeah, I'm coming through. Bloop. And I was like, sweet, so you're fucking close to the house. Let's fucking get this going, jackass. Love you.
Yeah. All right. Today we are, like I said, werewolves, Ohio.
Ow.
There's been a lot of shit crazy. Like Izzy said, there's a lot of crazy shit going on in Ohio. We got Bigfoot. We got
the Grass Man.
The Midwest Area 51 from back in the day.
The Doge Man. The Doge Man.
Yes, the Doge Man. We have a bunch of hauntings, and we have Ghosts in the Night, the paranormal podcast, which is its prize export.
Yeah.
Because we are just...
literally the most popular paranormal and true crime podcast coming out of Ohio. I totally don't know of at least 3 that trump us off the top of my head.
3?
Brohio, Necronomipod, and True Crime All the Time. That's just the ones I know.
I'm sure that list is a lot longer because we generally suck, but that's beside the point.
We're getting there.
We're all right.
I swear, it's like we get more fucking followers on Instagram the less I fucking post.
I noticed that.
It's weird.
Well, we have that. But we will dive into this Defiance, Ohio werewolf sighting from back in the early 70s.
Like 72?
72.
Some shit.
72 is a good year. But then also we'll kind of give our opinions on what I plan on giving my opinion on werewolves. I'm sure Travis is very opinionated. He will give his as well.
Oh, the good old lycanthropy.
Yes, lycanthropy. When we will talk a little bit about the legend and some of the possible causes for the werewolf situation, if you will.
Sharing on Facebook before they block it. Nice. Well, yeah. I mean, it's just like
because there's a lot of possible causes for this, just not the medieval stuff. Even today.
Yeah, the lady fucking even brought it up because she saw the post and she was like, "Oh, there's definitely werewolves in Ohio." And then I was like, "Well, I mean, there could be many arguments because you can run into timber wolves also,
which are fairly large wolves.
Which, if you look it up, they also are. What is it? It's Canis lupus, Lykan or something like that. So it's even got Lykan in the fucking name. Bom bom bom.
It's getting real up in here. Let me go ahead.
Fucking Greek.
Let me go ahead and do this before I get started, so I know what the hell I'm doing.
I'm just waiting to hear that Pornhub intro sound. Boom.
I gotta get out of all that shit. Jesus, this pops up automatically. It's like they know me.
Oh,
I do that.
I do it too.
We both do that every time. All right, so I can look at the chat because I can't see it on the screen. All right, so
we already hit the intro. You want to see the new intro? We'll do it again if you want.
I guess I don't
give a fuck.
I cut this shit up anyway, so what difference?
I didn't see the fucking thing until I just got here. I like the new intro.
All right, just for those who even said the intro.
Izzy. I think Tyler's the only one in here.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll go ahead and play the intro for the people.
Because it's new.
It's new. We jazzed it up almost a little bit. Here we go. Okay, here we go. All right, that was our new intro that I will have to edit out later, but that's okay. It's what we do.
I don't know, but I definitely put on some weight since I've been doing this show. Like, there's a couple clips in there. I was like, man, I look way better. Like that one.
Well, I jazzed it up, made you look good.
Oh, is that how it works?
I filtered that shit.
TV and camera puts on 10 pounds. Fucking live stream takes off 12.
Yes. All right. So we are going to start out with the Defiance, Ohio sighting from back in 1972. It's basically the werewolf has reached urban legend status. But this one, there are a lot of sightings, so that's why I don't like to.
Arguably, fucking, it's not even an urban legend. It's just like straight up folklore.
Right. Well, because
it's worldwide.
Pretty much same. I mean, folklore
or just legend in general, right. I guess.
But the Defiance werewolf there actually was a sighting. There was actually a police investigation done. There were multiple sightings, and I will give my reasons why I feel there was multiple sightings as we get through this. But on the night of July 25th, 1972, I will add this.
The year of our Lord.
Bigfoot's cousin, maybe. As he says, werewolf is Bigfoot's cousin. I don't know about that, but maybe. But that night, just where the legend even gets more spooky or more realistic, I might add.
Spoopy.
It was a full moon.
Of course it was.
Of course it was. There was the first on this night, a gentleman by the name of Ted Davis saw a werewolf while he was working in the rail yard. He worked for, I believe, Norfolk Western.
Don't put it out with your boots, Ted. Don't tell me my business, devil woman.
But he saw this werewolf in the yard while he was hooking some cars together. And, but I'll read that comment later. I can't do multiple things. From the story, I've heard several different stories of this encounter. One I just saw, saw his feet and kind of looked up, and what he saw was, I love this, a 6 to 8 foot creature.
There's always a fucking 2 foot fucking discrepancy.
The difference between 6 and 8 foot
is a lot.
That's
normal to almost unheard of, minus 4 fucking people ever.
Right. So that 2 feet is a little big difference, and I think you would know. I mean, I would say tall. For me, 6 foot tall is going to be 6'5" or more. So I would say taller than 6.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Or say 7 foot, somewhere around there. But between 6 and 8 foot, that's hits the gambit. You're bound to be there somewhere.
That's I could have I have anywhere from a 12-inch cock to a clitoris. Somewhere in between there.
Well, I'm sure it's been confused for a clitoris.
Oh, no, well, I mean, technically all of them are.
Yes,
we all start female.
Some of us just stay that way. But Mr. Davis saw the feet, looked up, and like I said, what he saw was a tall creature, looked like a wolf, covered with hair. Here's the kicker, though. I've heard 2 different stories, and they both said the same thing. The fucker was wearing clothes.
Well, I mean, if he was a
werewolf,
a damned wolf creature man of the night, then he might still have his fucking dickies on and maybe a nice Wrangler thermal, of course.
Right. But he was wearing clothes. Obviously, I guess the movies are wrong. They don't get naked and strip their clothes off.
Well, I've seen plenty of where the original Wolfman had clothes.
Yes, but, they didn't have good CGI.
I prefer my werewolves with clothes.
Okay, well, I'm glad. But this one was even more special. Do you know what else he had?
A huge dick.
No.
Do werewolves have human dicks or do they have red rockets?
That is a good question.
Right?
I will look that up and get back on for the
Yeah, we need to know this. This is the information information that the universe and the world deserves and needs.
Where was I? But he was wearing clothes, like I said. He also had one other thing. I heard he was carrying
a squeaky toy.
He was carrying something in his hand, either a stick or 2x4. And he struck Mr. Davis.
Okay, so what
shoulder.
The fuck makes that invalidates the argument of fucking werewolf to me, because wouldn't the werewolf just fuck you up bare hand?
You would think with claws and such.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a killing machine, theoretically.
Well, maybe the werewolf was coming back from the werewolf lumber yard. Was building a deck onto his...
Every time.
What?
Every time.
What's wrong?
Every time we go live.
What?
The only other podcast that I actually like to watch on YouTube Live goes fucking live. You sons of bitches. I love both of you, but you're sons of bitches.
Tyler, I did hear that story. I listened to him on an interview on a podcast last week, I believe. So that is an interesting story, and we might cover that later on. We're not gonna have time to cover it tonight, but we might touch on that maybe on a Patreon episode, or just a Thursday show, or
Patreon,
or a Thursday show. But we'll probably touch into his story a little bit too. But where was I? Oh, but carrying a 2x4 stick. 2x4. I cracked this fucking case wide open. I can solve this.
It's The Rock from Walking Tall.
No, 1972. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was probably working on his character.
Oh!
He's probably working on his character.
This is the second time that I've heard Hacksaw Jim Duggan's name today. I'm not gonna lie.
Synchronicity.
Serendipity.
So he was just working on his character, and was just cruising around doing his hey-oh with his thumbs up. The only thing we're missing is American flag. He probably hadn't incorporated that into his act yet, but in 1972 he was probably working it out. Trying to get into character. Or what?
Again, it was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson from Walking Tall in a fur coat.
Dwayne's bald. We're on a first name basis. I can call him Dwayne.
Do you think that's how it goes? Do you think people that know him personally call him Dwayne, or like D, and like everybody's like, "Hey, what's up, Rock?" And then he's like, "Hey, man, you can call me Dwayne."
I would. It probably goes.
I imagine they probably call him Rocky.
Probably. Or Rock. Hey, what's up, Rock?
Because that's a family name.
And he doesn't. Yeah. He does not seem the type that he would, or he does seem like the type that would say, "You can call me Dwayne."
I feel like he's so fucking nice. Where's Gonzo, by the way?
Yeah, I threw wrestling in here for him.
I'm about to fucking send him an Instagram message because he's fucking hurting my feelings.
And Gonzo, saw something that, or a comment he posted on either Snapchat.
That was awful.
Really? He started a hashtag Phil's Lover?
Yes, he did. Oh, you want to see? You want to see the one I'm posting tomorrow?
What is it? That is true. But where was I at?
I'm trying to figure out. I'm about to download an app. There's apps to fucking where you can like time them, and it'll just upload it for you.
Upload. I've seen it for Twitter. I've not seen it for Instagram. But
yeah, apparently they just have it for fucking everything.
Yes, Izzy. Apparently, Gonzo has a huge, huge, huge crush on me.
Duh.
I can see why. I'm a damn good-looking man. Okay, where was he at? Okay, Davis, got struck in the shoulder, in the upper, I don't think struck him in the head, struck him in the shoulder. He went down for the count, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan ran off. So that's how his encounter went. Now, a short time later, I've heard either next night or 2 weeks later, before I get to that, he went to his buddy, who was also working there at the yard at the time. It was a gentleman by the name of Tom Jones. And told Tom Jones what was going on. Well, he just encountered, big hairy creature, 6 to 8 foot tall, wearing clothes, carrying a 2x4.
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones said, "Oh, nice." So I heard in a little bit of my research, I did hear the next night Tom Jones had an encounter, and then I heard a couple weeks later Tom Jones and Ted Davis had an encounter. So
sounds like a bunch of fucking dick riding, clout chasing ninnies to me.
I'm not completely sure on how that went, or which is correct. But I did read that they went to their boss after they both had the encounter and said, something's going on here. This is what we both saw.
We fucking quit.
2 different occasions. Now, the boss...
Tell your wife to stop walking around in the woods at night, Clarence, you fucking sack of shit.
Now, I'm sure the boss boss did think they were crazy. So that, this could be... We might want to think about drug testing these guys. Of course, what was drug testing in the 70s? Couldn't have been very good. But he said, okay.
You're getting drug tested. Look me in the eye. Tell me you didn't do it.
He said, okay, anyway, that's great. And he did contact the police. Okay? So the police were aware of the situation.
Okay. Which, I guess that doesn't... It neither takes nor adds validity to the whole situation, I guess,
of
that
what?
the police were involved.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Involved.
But they didn't take it too seriously yet. Now, a few weeks later, there was a third sighting. A grocer or grocery store worker was coming home late from work. I heard anywhere from 2 to 4 o'clock in the morning. Driving home. Well, they got stock shelves.
It's 1972. I thought everybody was was legally bound to be in bed by 7:45.
No, not 1972.
Because they had to wake up and work on the farms and.
It wasn't that long ago. Damn it.
Did they have cars in 72? Did we have health care?
You remember how I complimented you on being how smart I am for having you on this podcast? I'm really starting to rethink that situation.
Was that Andrew Jackson's first or second term? Inquiring minds want to know.
I do not know. I do not care. Anyway.
Who was president in 1972?
I know it wasn't me.
I don't fucking know. Lyndon B. Johnson?
Anyway, this guy from the grocery store was driving home and
he's seen to werewolf.
Stereotypical encounter, saw a werewolf or something tall, bipedal, run across the beams of his light or his car and across the street.
Which is how it always happens.
Yes. And, he said it was tall. He said it was full of hair. How would you know?
Covered with hair or full of hair?
Covered with hair.
It was a cat if it was full of hair.
So.
Where's the werecats?
That's a good question.
I would actually find that more terrifying.
Yeah, because cats are fucking evil.
Yeah. Dog, I mean, let's be real. A werewolf runs up to me, like, I live in a house with a dog. I'm just like, picker, picker.
Probably lick you to death.
I would. I just, picker, picker. He'd be like, huh? Sit.
I mean, a werewolf, everybody should carry a jar of peanut butter, just in case they run into a werewolf. I would assume peanut butter would have the same effect on a werewolf as it would on a dog.
Well, I mean, because realistically, lycanthropy itself has nothing to do. Nixon, oh God, great time, good man, Richard Nixon, great jowls, yes. Hell of a head shake, really good social planner, really good at planning espionage as well.
Was ahead of his time.
He totally.
Everything.
How the fuck do you manage to get sabotaged by Forrest Gump? But lycanthropy itself has nothing to do with physical change or physical appearance of a wolf.
No, it's just
it's just somebody just
the actions.
Yeah,
the characteristics, verbally. And
because I forget what the story was, but there was a story somewhere that like a kid was doing that shit somewhere in England, and like it was like the first like fucking like what's the word I'm looking for? Documented possible case of fucking lycanthropy.
Lycanthropy. Yes.
Yeah, they said this kid like fucking like ripped a fucking like sign post out of the fucking ground and like tried to attack his dad or some shit and like would just go all nuts and I'm like, what? Yeah, give him some fucking Vicodin and then kick him in the dick a couple times.
Yes. But getting back to the story, and we will get into that. I actually wanted to talk more about that.
Yeah, excellent.
When I talk about more of the legends and...
Don't mind me. I didn't prepare for this episode at all.
Yes, and he has no idea what I've got written down. But
as I said, I was all snazzy.
When we get into medical reasons, we'll get into that a little bit too. Well, we really don't have to. You already did, and you did a damn fine job explaining it.
Off the top of the dome.
Right. That's why you got more written down than I got written down.
That's why you bring on the guy that has stupid fucking information about every subject under the fucking sun. Speaking of the sun, did you know? I'm just kidding.
Okay, the third guy or woman. I'm assuming it's a guy. I don't hate to misgender a guy from back in 1972. They'll come back. He'll come to the future and cancel me.
Go on.
Let's stop you with that one.
I was reading when you first started, so I'm not even sure what you said right at the beginning.
Okay.
I just heard "come from the future and cancel me."
Right. Well, the guy from
Ben Shapiro.
Yes, the guy
that doesn't believe in wet vaginas.
Only because he's never made one. You covered that.
Fuck, I hate Ben Shapiro.
Okay. But this guy who worked at the grocery store, who saw it in his car running across the street, as they all do, he went to the police. The popo said, okay, we might want to start taking this somewhat seriously. And the chief of police, I did not get his name. I don't think, no. He actually was quoted as saying, we don't know what to think, but we are taking this seriously. Which, I mean, that's a nice cookie cutter answer.
What the fuck does that mean? Is the Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane?
Maybe.
All the Duke boys found themselves in a spot of trouble again.
I mean, this Defiance is about 35-ish miles south of Toledo, and we all know about northern Ohio.
It's like redneck, but with weird accents.
Yes. But so the police did take it seriously, and they did, do an investigation. I guess a stakeout. Roscoe and
so they went hunting,
basically.
Boss hogs, boss hoss
with the Cadillac with horns on it.
It was Boss Hog or Boss Hoss?
Some
stupid fucking
Boss Hog.
Yeah, I don't know, some racist.
Oh yeah.
Even his suit was white.
Really? General Lee was freaking racist. Had a fucking Confederate flag right on the fucking hood or on the roof.
I don't know. I found it generally sick.
Was it? How a car could fall so hard. Okay, where was I at? Now, some local newspaper and a Toledo newspaper caught wind of this, and they wrote a bunch of stories. And when I say bunch, I mean around 4-ish stories about all these sightings, the police looking into this, taking it serious. And what do you know? Defiance, Ohio became werewolf capital #1.
Woo!
Because there all of a sudden was a shit ton of sightings.
So what do you, of course, that's funny how that happens
Exactly.
with werewolves, Bigfoot, pretty much anything.
You know, word gets out, and all of a sudden everybody in the fucking brothers seeing the werewolf.
It happens with everything. It happened with the doctor picture of the Loch Ness. It happened with the whatever the fuck footage of the Bigfoot. I can't remember the guy's name, which I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That footage is bullshit.
Yeah.
But why the fuck did my Facebook just notify me that Nicki Minaj put out a new video?
Because obviously you're a Nicki Minaj fan. But mass hysteria is a freaking common thing. We've been living in a mass hysteria for 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, just short of 2 years. Well, whatever, 18 months.
I love it. Everybody get the vaccine. It's gotta save lives. Did you get vaccinated? Yeah. Why are you Skyping me right now? I got COVID.
Well, we'll have that topic we'll cover that.
Good vaccine.
On
what would happen if the polio fucking vaccine worked like that?
Yeah. But so mass hysteria is a thing. People get caught up in that. I don't know whether they just don't want to be left out or their mind and eyes start playing tricks on them. Very possible.
They're just trying to get fucking famous.
But the police did.
I'm gonna be on TV.
You know, and I have to say, the police probably, when they say they took it seriously, they probably had the same thought I did when I first heard the story. Werewolf, clothes, carrying a 2x4 or a big stick. It was somebody fucking around.
Yeah.
In a costume. So,
unless it was 8 feet tall.
Well, you know.
If it's 8 feet tall, you start getting a little fucking.
That is pretty much what I think. Hello, Mother. That is pretty much what I think when they say we are taking it seriously. You're going to end up on the fucking floor. Layla, move over here. But
it's that one spot.
Ooh, is the crack spot.
The cream spot.
But,
shout out Ohio podcast.
They
have that trademarked yet.
Probably. We just probably owe them.
They should. They have it like every fucking episode. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Nick Delicious from the Ohio podcast. You have found yourself in the cream spot. I don't know where it came from, but I was like, fuck, that's a good one.
That's a good one. But so that is what I believe the police meant by they're taking it seriously. I don't think they ever probably really thought that.
For the police to say they took it seriously, that all that says to me is we're doing literally anything about it at all, if not just talking about it.
Now, shocker, their investigation turned up nothing, not a zip. They did not catch the werewolf of Defiance.
Whoa.
And over time, mass hysteria wore off and the sightings got fewer and fewer and fewer, to where now it is a scary story of what happened in 1972, which goes into urban legend-ish territory.
As is tradition.
Now, Ohio, like, Izzy's been saying, is full of crazy shit. We do
I mean, really, every state is. It's just we just know about it because we live in Ohio.
Right, I mean, like, Wisconsin.
Every state has their thing.
I mean, Wisconsin, crazy shit goes on. Like you said, every state does have some crazy shit, but
just look at fucking Alaska. Alaska's got lore and legend and fucking cryptids out the ass if you really dive into it.
Right. I mean, but every state has it. However, I do think that Ohio is special just for the mere fact we have a ton of UFO sightings. We do get a lot of Bigfoot sightings out toward the eastern side of the state.
Yeah.
You really don't hear the Defiance, Ohio thing kind of does throw me. You don't really hear a lot from up north, really that much. And when you get past Columbus, really it seems a hot spot for like cryptids, Bigfoot, and possible Dogman and werewolf. Which, in my opinion, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Dogman, werewolf, same fucking thing.
Right.
Same fucking thing. If you want to get that particular and break it down, eat a dick.
Yeah, Dogman's just fucking more friendly to say or to think about.
I mean,
name-wise.
You want to get that butt hurt over specifics on two creatures that do not exist, by all means. You're just showing your ignorance and your stupidity.
Yeah, that's always been my thing. Like, there's no way. Like, something like a werewolf would have been known by now. It's just like fucking vampires. Like,
well, we'll go ahead and talk about werewolves is the biggest bunch of bullshit on the planet.
yeah.
There is no such thing as a fucking werewolf. Now, if you want to come at me and say there is a cryptid that does resemble a canine type creature, 4 to 6 foot that walks bipedally, if you want to say that, okay, fine. It's not a werewolf. There is not a human being when the full moon comes turns into a fucking wolf,
right?
Or protects fucking vampires' lairs. Fuck that, all that bullshit. It's so asinine and so it doesn't happen. Like you said, vampires don't fucking exist.
Werewolves like to get roughy with Buffy.
Well, who wouldn't?
Ugh, me. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Ugh.
A nose job, But hey, God love her, she stuck with it. At least last I heard or last I saw. But werewolves don't exist. Now,
No.
Like I said, if you want to come at me with there's a cryptid that walks bipedally that resembles a...
Yeah, it's the changing.
Right. A human does not
completely
turn
lose me.
into a wolf.
Well, I mean, because, like...
In actuality, in truth, in reality.
Like in voodoo, there's werewolves in voodoo, but in voodoo, it's like... And I don't know which voodoo, because there's different kinds of... There's African voodoo, there's Haitian voodoo, there's... Like there's a lot of different voodoo. But, like... In voodoo, a werewolf is just a person who, like, basically, like, puts on the pelt of the wolf and then takes on the persona of the wolf. And that's just what it is. They don't transform or anything like that. They just are ingrained with the whatever the holy dog fuck you want to call that.
Right.
They're possessed by the Holy Spirit of the Canis Lupus.
And
Canis Lupus familiaris, which is a dog.
Thank you.
Or just leave it at Canis Lupus in general. All wolves.
All wolves.
Or no, Canis familiaris is dogs. Canis Lupus is wolves.
Sounds like a fucking...
And then they have a third name.
Sounds like a sexual transmitted disease when you let a dog ram you in the ass.
I do find it interesting that they have lupus in the name.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is not an STD or
but,
STI as they are now. They're STIs now.
Oh, we got to be politically correct.
Well, I don't know. I guess they just fucking changed that. Apparently, all the math that I ever fucking learned is null and void now.
So 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4?
2 + 2 = 22. No, there's some stupid fucking shit. Like, they don't do long division and shit anymore. There's, like, little half-ass cuts and shit.
I know. It's fucking ridiculous.
But I don't give a fuck. As long as you get the right answer, it's fine, I guess.
Now,
Pluto's a goddamn planet, you fucking piece of shit. I can accept the octopi isn't a word, but I will not accept that Pluto is not a planet.
Space is fake.
It's a celestial body. No shit. Everything in fucking space is a celestial body, stupid.
Yes, it's a small planet. It's an ice
cube, technically,
right.
really.
But doesn't it have a moon? I think
Pluto?
I think it has a moon that revolves around it.
I don't know. Saturn's got like fucking 9.
But I think if an object, a round object or a flat object, I don't fucking know, is in space and has a moon orbiting around it, I think that should constitute a planet, whether or doesn't matter what its size is. But
well, I mean, really, if you're gonna go by that, all that is just it having the mass to have the gravitational pull to hold the moon there. So I mean, there's probably fucking comets and shit out there big enough for that.
But that's my astronomy. I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson, so I do not know these
astronomy.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that shit. I just think if it has a moon revolving around
the Muppets, astronomy.
I think it should be the case that it is a planet, or makes the case that it is a planet. But getting back to werewolves.
Or we all just go ahead and just look at even Neil deGrasse Tyson. Everybody just goes, okay, let's all agree. Yeah, we don't fucking know. Got it? Get it? Got it? Good.
Works for me. I can deal with
Oh,
that.
it's more than 1,000 miles off the our Earth's surface? Okay, so yeah, we're not going to know dick about it in the next 400 years. So that's fine. We'll just move on.
I mean, there are some.
We have moon rocks. That's about it.
There are some interesting theories on, what is out there. How, what is it? Gravity is actually not gravity. It's electromagnetism. I've kind of read some shit about this. And like Saturn possibly was a star that got caught up, dead star that caught up. It's fascinating how, and that's how the Greek.
I don't know. I haven't gone on an astrological bender in a while.
You're just more on.
It's a fucking chair.
But it's fascinating.
Don't buy fucking Target chairs when you're fat, everybody. I was like, ooh, that's not a bad deal.
It's okay. But
it's as good of a deal as the new deal.
Getting back to werewolves being complete shit, a human being does not turn into a werewolf. Now, what I will give, like I said, if you want to argue with me about a cryptid being or cryptid creature that kind of resembles a canine that walks on two legs, fine. But
I have way less of a problem getting behind that. Not even saying getting behind it, but like I said, it's the transformation is the thing that you can't fucking justify to me.
Right.
A human body does not turn into a fucking wolf or a wolf-like creature. It just doesn't happen. Or you can just get rid of the wolf part. Wolf, fucking sea turtle, vampire bat, fucking leopard seal. None of it. We don't turn into any of it.
We just turn into assholes. That's all we turn into.
And dead.
Yes.
We turn into fertilizer.
Now, where it does get kind of murky, or why I can kind of see the crossing of these two concepts that we're just, with the humans transforming, is the medical issues.
Yeah.
Like what you spoke about earlier. And there's other lycanthropy, which
can really just be chalked up as the perfect storm of a combination of things.
And then also, what is it? Hypertrichosis or whatever? Have you heard of that?
What?
Hypertrichosis?
Go on.
That is also known as werewolf syndrome. And basically, that is abnormal amounts of hair growth. People, like the traveling, circus, carnies, the wolf boys.
Yeah. The hairy, like the brothers.
Yeah, that is an actual disease.
They're Mexican, weren't they?
I think that isn't. Now you show me somebody with this disease, with the, the werewolf syndrome, and the lycanthropy or whatever it's called.
Lycanthropy.
Say somebody is special enough to have both those diseases.
Put them down.
That constitutes your werewolf.
Put them down.
Now, there's no transformation. It's a hairy fucker that acts like a wolf.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean, the snout got big. It doesn't happen that way.
Right.
But these are legitimate and actual mental and physical issues that do represent or do kind of present as possible werewolf type activity. And this is one way that this legend, I don't want to say got started, but how it has built over the centuries.
Yeah.
And it has exploded into this mythic kind of thing.
Well, I mean, it's like we say all the time. There's truth to everything in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just a little seed that sprouted into a whole field of bullshit.
Now, the actual origin stories of werewolves, nobody truly knows where it started.
Right.
There is some people that believe that it started with the Epic of Gilgamesh. Because of this, Gilgamesh,
It's Gargamel's cousin.
He apparently, if the story's, whatever.
Which is not.
He got pissy and dropped a possible female companion because she turned her ex into a wolf. I don't fucking know. With it, that kind of is possible, where maybe the werewolf concept took root. Now, Greek mythology also plays a role in this. The legend of Lykan. And apparently, Lykan was one of the guy's sons, and Zeus got pissed off at him.
Yeah.
So all his his future sons, basically gave him this, werewolf syndrome, a bunch of hair.
Fuck you, Dad. I'm
Basically,
gonna be a werewolf.
they gave him, Zeus gave him the, whatever I said it was. What was the name of that? Whatever, the hair issue, werewolf syndrome.
Hairy boy.
And the other, lycanthropy,
Oh,
or whatever.
I got heartburn.
Gave them both of them and said,
Werewolves.
okay, now you're werewolves.
Werewolves give me heartburn.
So that is one belief system of how the werewolf.
I do it.
Are we boring you?
No, I just had a long weekend, man.
That is one way that they believe that the concept of a werewolf got pushed out into the mainstream even back in the early days.
I mean, yeah, you can even fucking look at like the Egyptian god Anubis.
Right.
He was part canine, not wolf, but he was part jackal. He had the head of a jackal and the body of a man.
Right.
Fucking werewolf.
Now back in the medieval days, think about it. If somebody had any of these, mental issues and physical issues that we spoke about earlier, and all of a sudden, things start happening. I hate to be the one to break it to everybody. Serial killers aren't new.
Fair.
There's a good possibility that Fred Flintstone was a serial killer.
But they're the modern Stone Age family, though.
I'm just saying, caveman, there probably was a caveman with thirst for blood.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure
Neanderthals, Cro-Magnon, man, there was all kinds of fucking, you want to talk about toxic masculinity now, imagine when there's no words to fucking work things out anyway.
Therapy did not work for those people.
There wasn't a fucking thing.
I know.
Their therapy was murder.
Yes.
And food.
You heard it here first, folks. But there are some experts that believe in the Middle Ages and even before that, maybe there were serial killers, people killing people, and they kind of people have to justify shitty activity.
Yes, you have to have something to blame it on. That's what we were talking about with the fucking everybody saying that everything's a goddamn demon.
Or every serial killer is a Satanist and it's a ritual killing. We need to put a reason behind everything. We don't do well in our mind.
We can't accept that we're fucked.
That shit just happens sometimes.
Yeah, we just can't accept that we're shitty fucking beings that walk this earth. Because we are. Because I say it all the time. I don't give a shit about global warming. Because all we're doing is helping the earth do what the earth does. Because the earth changes temperatures. Has done it drastically multiple times. The earth's going to go into another ice age anyway. We're just helping it along. And it's going, yeah, go ahead, keep driving cars, keep fucking killing turtles. You guys think you're hurting me? No, stupids, you're hurting your fucking selves. Y'all are going to die, and I'm going to go, they're gone. Let's bring up, here's the new species, here's the old species that made it. We're going to fuck them together, then we're going to have more new species, and guess what? Earth's still fucking here.
Are you done?
Yes, people suck. Human beings.
Where was I at?
We're the scourge of the existence of this fucking planet. We're the worst thing to ever live on this planet. And we think we're all holier than thou. We're not. Dinosaurs literally were around for 400 million years. We've been around for less than 1 million.
They had a good run.
What the fuck? We're actually, if you look at it, we're the least successful species ever. One of the least successful species.
Huh.
And
good way to look at it. I mean, I see your point.
We are.
We're just really good. We fuck shit up real quick.
Yes, and we've been the same for a very long time, really. We just have gained knowledge through our brains, but we haven't evolved our bodies, really. I guess we have. We used to be really short and stinky.
Yes. But anyway, getting back to serial killers. A lot of people maybe thought that all these murders that were happening, which there were probably active serial killers or just, Billy Bob at the, local tavern got a little drunk and killed Jose. I mean, of course that's
a hate crime.
That's a hate crime.
You can do werewolves without a Ouija board that nothing happened. It's still up there. Nothing fucking happened. Didn't move at all. Nobody got possessed because it's a children's game.
But where was I going with this? Oh, people had to justify all these, maybe multiple people turning up missing, dead bodies, and with people with these issues, like these mental issues, kind of caught the blame for it. So, and plus, there actually throughout, Europe, there were people that were actually confessed to actually, being a werewolf. I personally, think this was the early version of the insanity plea.
I'm going to do that.
But interesting
I'm going to do that and see if it gets us more followers and shit on Instagram.
Interesting.
You heard it here. I'm a fucking werewolf. Arr.
Interesting enough, though, we all have heard of the Salem witch trials, right?
It's a little. I know a little bit. I know it happened. That's about it.
In Europe, it just wasn't the witch trials. They were burning and killing and putting people on trial for being a witch and a werewolf.
Yeah.
Now, there are those experts, and
another thing we don't learn about in America because it didn't happen in America. That's how it fucking works, right? If it didn't happen here, why put it in history books? But didn't they try to say, wasn't there like a rumor mill going around that Jack the Ripper was a fucking werewolf too?
I haven't heard that one, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Or maybe not even a werewolf, like something. Like people are saying Jack the Ripper was like a vampire or a werewolf or some fucking horse shit. Like, nah, he was just really sneaky.
Now,
they caught the Zodiac Killer, or they identified him.
Oh, well, we'll save that. We'll talk after we're done with this. We'll talk about that. I'm interested.
I haven't jumped too far into it, but they supposedly
it.
have identified the Zodiac Killer finally.
But like I said, and you've heard the concept of what caused the Salem witch trials, right? The fungus.
Mm-hmm.
I think ergot.
Yeah, ergot,
whatever.
Some shit like that.
Ergo. It's a fungus that grows on mainly rye bread.
Yeah.
But bread.
And it just makes you fucking crazy.
And right, you have hallucinations and I think I wrote down, shaking, tremors, not having control of their own motor functions, rolling eyes, unable to speak, so a lot of growling.
Like
a ferocious appetite. Hallucinations, like I said, panic attacks, swelling of the skin, extreme hot and cold feelings or sensations.
Extra saggy labia.
But there are those experts that believe that was part of what led to that hysteria in Salem was the ergot, that got contaminated. And there are those same people and other people that believe that was what really pushed the werewolf into the mainstream. People, were infected with this fungus, tripping balls and acting like werewolves.
Or sidebar.
Sidebar.
If everybody wants my personal opinion on the Salem witch trials while we're talking about it, it was a young country that was not yet its own country. It was still under the rule of the British government. And, I think it was just kind of a ploy to put the fear of God and the church into the people once again.
Or
they went against us, we shall drown and burn them. Everybody be good little boys and girls now, or we shall fucketh thee.
Well, save all that.
Or actually, keep being good little boys. We're going to try to fucketh thee anyway for the next 400 years until it gets found out by the news.
I think, we talked about doing a Salem witch hunt episode, and we talked about even doing it for Halloween, the Halloween special.
Yeah.
Because we're still doing the costumes.
I'm down. I'd have to get one.
We have to figure it out. I'm not. If there's no costumes, don't be pissed. But it's a good idea. But I think Salem would be a good topic for that Halloween episode.
I'm just waiting for us to be like, yeah, we're doing costumes, and you're gonna just wear like the adult version of a kid's costume. I'm gonna have like full on fucking like face paint and shit. It's like I said, I might be Pennywise, but since I'm fat, it'll be
$50 wise.
Yeah, $50 wise or full dollar wise. You never know. I haven't weighed myself in a while.
Could be a 5-spot.
Straw Pennywise.
Are they going off on their own in the chat room?
Yeah, they are. Okay, I love it.
Okay, but so that is
Jim's listening also apparently.
Who's Jim?
I don't know. Your mom said that.
Oh, that's my stepdad.
What's up, Jim?
Where was I?
How's your dick hanging?
You're so inappropriate.
Welcome to Ghosts in the Night. Nothing's fucking appropriate here.
But
I've farted twice since we've been doing this podcast, but the fan's blowing on me, so you never knew.
it's blowing right back at you. Anyway, so there are a lot of, like we covered, medical reasons. You know, the ergot, you know, the two mental disorders, which I'm sure there's more, and even don't forget rabies. You know, a lot of rabies is a viral infection. When you get bit by an animal, dogs, wolves,
bats,
other animals,
Lycans,
but you
fucking opossums, because we don't have possums in America. Stop saying the wrong fucking species of animal.
Oh god! But rabies, start foaming a little at the mouth, acting a little crazy, having hallucinations, aggressiveness, biting other people. Sounds a lot like a fucking werewolf.
Hot.
If a bites like a wolf, howls like a wolf,
foams at the mouth like a wolf, shits on the fucking kitchen floor like a wolf, eats the chickens like a wolf. It's a fucking wolf.
It's a fucking wolf.
So
those are some possible explanations. And if you think about it, the medieval time is when this legend really took off. Just like vampirism and all that other shit. Think about Middle Ages, the plague, animals, rabies, all these things. People were going fucking nuts. They were going freaking crazy and having these, it was a trippy
peak
time.
Of the power of the Catholic Church.
Dun, dun, dun. But so rabies was common in the Middle Ages. So that could play a factor in helping to build this phenomenon.
Da, 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 da.
But there is one interesting, and another thing I didn't talk about, is the full moon factor. Because, the theory shows that...
We have to clear that comment?
You don't want to say shit about the church. Jesus. I don't have all day to hide these comments.
I know. I wonder if there's a way where you just automatically do it.
I'll look into it. But, the full moon factor. The werewolf is engaged or comes out of the human during the full moon, right? There has been studies that the moon does have an effect on people. It has effect on the tides, has effect on people. And you talk to a cop, they'll tell you wacky shit happens. Emergency rooms are, more packed during full moons, crazy things happen. And I believe there was a study in Australia.
Mercury in retrograde?
I do not know this.
Somebody call a white woman and find out between the ages of 20 and 32.
But according to a study in Australia's Calvary Mater Newcastle Hospital, that was a fucking mouthful. The moon does have an effect on human behavior. A study found 91 violent actions, acute behavior incidents at this hospital took place during a full moon. It would spike. The average basically would during full moon.
Yeah, that's always been a thing.
So it is.
I've heard nurses talk about that just being a thing.
In this particular study, some of these 91 cases that were violent, spitting, biting, scratching, things such as that. But so that does show that maybe it's one hell of a coincidence, but we know the moon has a gravitational pull that affects the earth. We are part of the earth. We are on the earth.
Well, yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say. It affects tides.
You would think it would have an effect on pulling us, too, which some people might get a little wacky.
Well, if nothing else, you can make the argument that the gravitational, or not the gravitational difference, but there could be a gravitational anomaly when the moon is closer and further away that in some way, shape, or form could affect our blood flow or something like that. We don't know.
We don't know.
It's just like the fucking the rotation of Titan, one of Saturn's moons. Titan is ovular at one point and circular at another. Because the closer it gets to Saturn, it expands to an ovular shape because basically they assume that under the crust is a liquid layer. So if it can do that to a moon, imagine what a moon can do to affect blood flow or internal organs or just anything. Like the popping off of nerves, anything. Anything could be affected by this. We don't fucking know.
We don't fucking know. But
no, Casey, you did not. It just, I guess, apparently we had to fucking clear. We had to. When certain things get put in the chat, we just have to clear.
Generally,
them.
if you cuss, I have to approve it to be
but
shown.
Apparently, Catholic Church stinks had to be approved, which I don't know why, because I say all the time, "Fuck the Catholic Church."
So that is what we were talking about.
And all their fucking kneeling.
It was interesting that we did think it was a little weird that I had to show that, and it hid that comment or that chat. But that's really all I have on this. Like I said, werewolves. Fuck this shit. It's boring. It's horseshit. Unless you want to talk cryptid-wise, where there is a species of creature or undiscovered animal that does walk bipedally like a bear, does have more of a canine feature.
Well, I mean, there's
that.
so much. I was gonna say, actually, Tyler said something in the chat about a rabid hybrid hyena. I was gonna say maybe Pokemon is real, and it's just a bipedal hyena. But then all of the classifications would be wrong, because if it was a hybrid rabid hyena, then the classification would be incorrect. Because as we all know, as I have spoke about on this podcast before, a hyena is not a canine, despite popular belief. A hyena is more closely related to a mongoose than a dog. Look it up. Swear for God.
Yes. But people do not turn into werewolves. Now, they might act crazy.
Yeah. Nobody's turning into a werewolf.
No.
They might have mental disability, not mental disability, sorry.
A mental disease.
Yes, they might have mental fuckery that leads them to act fucking nuts, but that doesn't mean that they're out here just ripping their skin off and turning into howling fucking dogmen of the night, ready to just devour whatever comes in their contact with them.
Now, if it would be fucking cool as shit if they were real, vampires were real, be awesome.
See, that's my thing, is everybody's like, oh, I believe in vampires and werewolves. If vampires and werewolves were real, we'd be fucking dead.
Now, I will say this.
The only ones of us that would be alive would be fucking enslaved for food.
I will say this. Like, I think there's something to energy vampires. People that suck your energy.
Yeah, and my only problem with that is, like, I just don't like the term, but there's no better term for it.
And I do not believe they know they're doing it.
I don't want to say there's no better term for it. We don't know a better term. A term has not been written or created that is better for it.
Because everybody in the world has been around somebody that they've been drained just by being around them.
Yeah.
Emotionally, psychologically. That they're draining your energy.
Like Colin Robinson from What We Do in the Shadows. That show has an energy vampire. It's fucking hilarious.
I started watching it, but one night.
It's so good.
And I fell asleep through the first episode, and it played on. I woke up next morning, and it was done playing. I was like, oh shit, apparently I watched them all.
Yeah. You got to go back and watch it. It's amazing. He's a creepy paper. Crepe paper.
What is this
creepy paper.
What's this thing with the poop? In the first episode where they got his whatever they're called. What's it? Ow. The human helper they have. What are they called?
The familiar?
The familiar, that's it. They got him in a cage. Because the very first pilot episode. Because he killed a bunch of vampires that were going to kill them.
Oh, that's not the pilot.
Oh, it might have been the season. Well, there was only one season. I thought there was only one season.
No, there's two. They're both on Hulu.
Well, I have Sci-Fi on demand.
That's on FX.
Or FX, I meant. I have it on demand.
Oh, yeah, there's 2 seasons.
I have to look. Well, anyway, that episode where he wanted to keep doing, his shit bucket, kept going through his shit bucket.
Oh, yeah, you're in the second season.
Is that it must have been the first episode of the second season.
Yeah. You got to go back. That's probably why you got to get that character development. Because Nandor the Relentless is amazing. He said they called me Nandor the Relentless because I just never relent.
I forgot to talk about when it comes to werewolves, and it kind of goes on. People do not turn to werewolves. Now, Native Americans do have their legends, their folklore of the skinwalker,
The Wendigo.
Shape-shifting.
Yeah.
And I don't buy that either.
Well, it's one of those things, like, the human mind is built in a way that we're always going to have fantastical ideas. We have to. We have to think that we have to live in a world that we might not like how it works and what we have to do to get through the day and to get through our lives and to take care of our family and shit like that. So, yeah, our minds are always going to be wandering around looking for something that's less monotonous and fucking life draining and energy draining than the fucking everyday, day-to-day horse shit that we crawl through.
We have to make life a little bit more fun because it's...
Yeah, and one way nobody can ever take from you is by making something up and making a fantastical fucking backstory for it and having people believe it. Or not even for the purpose of having people to believe it, just to maybe like, oh, maybe I can get other people out of their heads too.
And there is the whole, these people are seeing something, misidentification, a bear. Or even,
a bear with mange
is a perfect. If you ever seen a picture of a bear with mange,
it's fucking terrifying.
It looks like a fucking werewolf.
It does.
What you think a werewolf would look like?
Yeah, they're
the
terrifying.
Stereotypical werewolf vision in your head looks like a bear with mange.
Yeah, they're so creepy looking.
You see that walking on two legs? That's a fucking werewolf.
Yeah.
Case closed.
The only difference I could find, maybe from a scientific standpoint or a zoological standpoint, is the howling and rah 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 and all that shit, because despite what movies and TV have shown us, bears are not supremely loud animals. They're not out here like you see them in the movies, like bah, just roaring at motherfuckers. They don't do that shit.
And that's true. The Native Americans, God love them, they smoked a lot of peyote. You see some weird shit.
Well, some of them. Not all of them.
Well, they all just took a toke on the peace pipe. There's a lot of, I was about to say STDs. Sure, there was a lot of those too. But, LSD type trips going on back in the day. You got ergot.
Ayahuasca. Toads.
Magic mushrooms. Legitimate magic mushrooms. Real ones. Not synthetic. So there's just a lot of tripping going on back in the day. Who
knows? Maybe all these drugs we have now were just still a thing. Maybe everybody was out there doing flakka.
Well, there are those people that believe it. One of the guys, like I said...
Or fucking jankum, is that what it's called? Where you, shit into a bag and you fucking just...
They're one of the guys that helped translate the Dead Sea Scrolls, wrote a book, I think we talked about this earlier, that basically said that the entire Bible was a mushroom drip. From what he could tell.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about that before.
We've talked about it before. And he even wrote a book, and conveniently, the Catholic Church bought up all of that shit and bought the rights to it, and you can't get that shit no more.
Shocker.
But, so
I'm surprised that people, the knowledge about the Dead Sea Scrolls is still even fucking available.
But, and I believe the burning bush, Moses in the burning bush. Burning bush is the acacia tree, I believe, which when burned, I believe produces DMT. So, of course God was talking to him. He was tripping balls, maybe. This is all possibility, or it was an alien coming down. Yeah. I don't fucking know.
Tyler makes another good point from real life facts, is like he said, the berserkers in the Viking days, they would get to a bunch of fucking mushrooms and shit and go into battle with pelts and shit on. But still not a werewolf.
Still not a werewolf.
I see where it leads to the lore.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like I said, that's always been my thing with fucking werewolves, dude. Is like the werewolf itself, as we know it,
does not exist
physically, is fucking horse shit. Whether there's people out there that deal with the shit, yeah, that I can believe. Or if you want to say it's basically just a hairy chupacabra, whatever, or a dog foot.
But I've said it 3 or 4 times. If you want to come to me with a cryptid concept that there is a creature undiscovered that we haven't, walking around that can walk on 2 feet that looks like a doggish, a canine.
Yeah, like somewhere in the woods, Bigfoot's just sitting there in his fucking his wooden lazy boy that he made by hand, just petting his werewolf pet, throwing like small saplings for him to retrieve.
But I really think that is, I can come up with that. I can put my head around that. You think Bigfoot and the Wolfman have like a territory turf war? This is my woods. Get the fuck out.
What is this, fucking Rampage?
Yes.
The video game / movie featuring The Rock. He said, "Hey, George."
Actually, not one of it. Not his best work.
That's not funny, George.
Wasn't that bad of a movie. I mean, it was a little hokey. But that's all I got on werewolves. Other than the fact that if you Google this shit or YouTube search this shit, you will see some fucked up shit. And there was one video I wanted to put on here and play where a lady, this is from like 2008, in Ohio, was videotaping out in the woods.
Was she 2000 and late?
Yes.
Or was she 2000 and great?
Neither.
Fergie 2024.
Couldn't do much worse.
This shit is bananas, Phil. Bananas. That's not Fergie, but
Gwen Stefani.
That's Blake Shelton's wife. Or did
Mrs. Shelton.
I thought they broke up.
Oh, I thought they got married.
I thought they got divorced.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. My mother, if she's still on here, she watches The Voice. Maybe she can tell me.
I watch them on YouTube when there's really good ones.
What was I? I lost my
I don't know, something about the last dick you had in your hand that wasn't yours. Funny story about having a dick in your hand that's not yours. So when I was at the Renaissance Festival, I held someone's dick. That's not true.
Spotted dick?
I didn't see spotted dick.
Oh.
But I did see fucking shawarma. Found that to be an interesting choice to have at the Renaissance Festival.
What is it?
It's a Mediterranean dish. They had a whole Mediterranean restaurant. Oh my God, but I will say they had one restaurant you get tacos from. Had the best fucking name for a restaurant or for a taco stand at the Renaissance Festival.
So what you're saying is the Renaissance time they had Taco Tuesday too?
No. But it was the best fucking, considering it's the Renaissance Festival and it's based around the Renaissance time period, and it was a taco place. You know what this fucking place was called? It was fantastic. The Marco Pollo Cafe.
All right.
I saw it and they're like, I was like, oh, tacos. And I looked at the sign closer and I was like, you guys, we can leave. We've seen the best that this place has to offer. And then I saw The Mandalorian night and I was like, yo, I can die happy. That shit was sick.
Yes, I could not make it to the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah, The Mandalorian night was my highlight. Well, I mean, other than the company. And my highlight was the people I was with, having fun, experiencing things. But The Mandalorian night
was up there.
Was fucking sick.
Was up there. All right, I think we covered all the bases on. Oh no, I was talking about the video from Ohio.
Yeah,
she was walking in the woods, fall time, videotaping the fucking leaves changing color, falling in the woods.
After this, I'll upload a selfie of my cowl neck.
And she's, naturally, oh, what's this? And starts seeing tracks. Oh my God, those are big tracks. She's going on. Oh, that's a big track. I don't know what that is. Putting her hand to measure. It's a big fucking track.
Mm-hmm.
But what, here's what I'm thinking. Her husband made it, made something, put those tracks there. They wanted to hoax it.
Dude, it's not that hard. There was a guy somewhere on the East Coast. I don't know if it was I forget exactly where it was, but there was a dude on the East Coast that made giant penguin feet that he could strap onto his feet, and he would go out on the beach in the mornings and he would walk around with them on. And for 40 fucking years, he had people thinking there was a 7-foot fucking penguin that would just randomly show up on the beaches. It's not that difficult. And there's also the fact that everybody wants to make all this fucking shit show bullshit about fucking werewolves and shit. Just from a physical scientific standpoint, if we strictly look scientifically at the lineage of the Canis lupus family.
Yeah.
A direwolf. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about the direwolf. They show them on fucking Game of Thrones. Everybody's like, oh, this giant wolf species that's no longer extinct. Bullshit. A direwolf is negligibly larger than a gray wolf of today.
You're saying Game of Thrones got it wrong?
Yeah.
You motherfuckers.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, no. Compared to adult, like next to the kids, maybe. But they continue to be giant next to adults. Well, no, those weren't that bad. Game of Thrones wasn't that blown out of proportion. But I've seen direwolf referred to and used in like these crazy fucking ways. And direwolves were not that big. Like, obviously we're talking in comparison to a gray wolf, Canis lupus, which is not small by our idea of a canine. But a direwolf, not that much bigger. And there were not that many wolves in the fossil record bigger than direwolf. I don't even know if there was one. But at the same time, like, look at all. There's so many scientific arguments behind this because fucking the orca, the killer whale. There's structural evidence within the skeleton of those and the makeup of the skeleton of those and how things get put together in those because, as we all know, whales are mammals and used to be land-dwelling animals. True. They still have hips and shit. But they've made almost theoretical direct connections between the remaining skeletal structures of orcas and wolves. Theorizing that in some way, shape, or form, there was a genetic split between wolves that led into orcas. And on top of that, there is, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but there is a cryptid in Alaska, a legend of, I can't remember the fucking name, but it is basically a orca that can come on land and takes on the characteristics of a wolf. Yeah. It's all just fucking lore. Because if it was a thing, it would just be a thing. Because I don't understand. Like, there's all these things.
New
like,
T-shirt. It was a thing. It was a thing.
Well, I don't understand. Like, it's not that easy for stuff to hide.
What do you mean?
If it's been seen.
Well,
once it's been seen, it gets found out. The Greenland shark finally got seen. They caught him. They see him all the time now. The basking shark, the megamouth shark, fucking.
Yeah, I kind of see
the goblin shark. Even goblin shark's new to the fucking record. That thing's creepy as shit. That's a goddamn nightmare story.
But sharks are stupid. There is, just because you see something once does not mean.
Oh shit, Gonzo's finally here.
Oh, better late than never.
Yeah, considering we're like basically done.
Now we're just bullshitting. But like we've talked about this in our Bigfoot issue or episodes, and I've talked about it in the other episode. There's a lot of the wilderness is large.
But that's my thing with the Bigfoot is the Bigfoot's not preying upon humans.
Right. If Bigfoot is a real thing, if there is an animal that has survived, if relative of Gigantopithecus,
black eye,
yes,
Blackie.
If somehow one of its relatives or something closely related to it survived, and did not go extinct,
yeah,
they're probably pretty smart.
And yeah,
they can know. They
learn.
100%.
Because if you look at the fossil records, I believe that Homo sapiens, as we stand today, I am pretty sure that we were on the Earth at the same time as Gigantopithecus, or very close to it.
Very close.
Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon man shared the planet with Gigantopithecus. And those are our forefathers.
Did they? I get confused on that. Didn't they go extinct 100,000 years ago?
Something like that.
Something like that. But, and I think a lot of the Bigfoot legends come from that. But I don't know whether Bigfoot's real. I know werewolves aren't real. Are real? Real?
They're not real.
They're not real. I know werewolves.
Werewolves are not real.
I know werewolves are not real, but if you want to talk a bipedal wolf that somehow, has not been seen or hasn't been discovered yet, that, like I said, is more believable to me. Is more likely than a freaking werewolf.
Well, and then you get into assholes like me that like people would be like, "Well, that's what we're talking about." I'll be like, "Well, asshole, if it's bipedal, it's no longer a fucking wolf, is it?"
True, but if it does have the features of a wolf, the extended snout, what if it's a bulldog?
Oh,
looks like
a werepug.
Ooh, a werepug, or it just looks like a werewolf that got his ass.
I heard the most terrifying sound in the woods the other night. It was 7 feet tall.
With sleep apnea.
It had buggy eyes.
All right, so
and it made me look at its butthole all the time.
Werewolves are full of shit.
Yeah.
At
least the storybook movie representation.
Yes. But I do not think there's no such thing as a human being turning into an actual werewolf. There's mental disorders and possible viral infections that can make people act kind of
weird.
Wolfish. But
well,
people on PCP do the same thing.
There we go. That's the fucking solution. Modern werewolves are people on bath salts and flocka.
We solved it. We
solved
the case.
Next, where's my money?
What was it? The zombie drug?
Flocka?
Is that is that the zombie drug?
One of them.
I will say this. I love the Zombieland movies.
I watched a portion of the second one the other day. I haven't seen it. I actually watched it yet.
It was on. I watched it. Oh, you got Spectrum too now, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we probably
the
watched
house
this.
I live in has it. Yeah.
Yeah. I recorded it. Don't worry. If you want to watch it, I have it recorded on the DVR. I love Woody Harrelson. But anyway, that wraps it up. The werewolf.
And yes, Gonzo. Yes, I did. He's talking about that shit with The Rock.
What?
That video I showed you before we started.
Oh yes.
It's so cool.
This wraps up werewolves. We've talked about for Patreon for those people who want to support the Patreon or support the podcast. You can go to patreon.com/GITM podcast where you get bonus material or bonus content.
Every once in a while.
But we're starting a new show, or not a spinoff, a version of this show where we watch horror.
Jesus Christ, Lamont, look that shit up on YouTube. Sorry. He doesn't know what Flocka is.
Oh.
You'll see some crazy fucking videos. Watch videos of people on Flocka on YouTube. Jesus fuck. It's nuts.
Excuse me. But we are going to start watching horror movies and critiquing them and giving our opinion.
Starting with The Unholy.
Were you going? Didn't Tyler recommend that?
Yeah, I think he's gone. He said he was at work.
Yeah.
But, Tyler, if you're listening to this, hopefully it's fucking good. Because it's new.
So we got to pay for that shit.
No, I'm not even worried about paying for it. I just have not had very good fucking luck with new horror movies.
I mean, and I ideally don't necessarily want them all to be new movies. I mean, we can go back.
Oh, yeah, I want to see some, old shit. I want to see some B flicks, all that shit.
Even what was it? The one with Drew Carey. Or not Drew Carey, I'm sorry, Jim Carrey. He did a vampire movie.
Oh, Once Bitten.
Once Bitten, yes.
Yeah.
Stupid, silly shit like that.
Dumb as fuck. That movie was stupid
Dumb
as
fuck.
Earth Girls Are Easy was literally 10 times better than that movie. And Earth Girls Are Easy.
Wasn't that a documentary?
What?
Earth Girls Are Easy?
I don't know. I just thought it was great. That's a great trio of people, even though they didn't talk for most of the movie. Fucking Jim Carrey, Jeff Goldblum, and Damon Wayans.
Yes, but this movie critique, we're going to be the Siskel and Ebert of the horror genre. This will only be available.
Fistel and Beliebert.
This will only be available on Patreon. We might do a clip. Maybe we'll play a clip on our live stream of.
Oh yeah, because there's going to be a good clip. Because at some point you're going to bring up some scene from this movie, and I'm going to be like, no, fuck that guy.
I mean, ideally, I'd almost like to watch it. Put it on the computer, sit here,
just make sure we don't have any audio
and
or
just
anything.
run, have headphones and us listen, go live. Hey, Tyler's still here.
Hey.
And just have us watch it live.
Yeah.
Or watch it recorded. We wouldn't go live. Excuse me. But and what is it? What's the one?
I've seen Daybreak.
That sounds familiar. What's the one? The Alaska one with Josh Harden.
30 Days a Night.
30 Days a Night. That is actually pretty good.
That's on Netflix right now, I think.
But
or
that
Halloween, one of the two. Because I need to fucking get into spoopy season. I need to start watching shit. Holy shit! The new Halloween I think is out or coming out. I want to go see that shit.
Yeah.
Danny McBride's the executive producer on it.
Oh.
John Carpenter came back on as an executive producer.
Damn. But that is what we're going to do. We're going to critique it. Say what we didn't like about it, the corny, whether it's great, whatever. Basically, you're going to be a bullshit session about these shows.
Okay, now there's an important question that just came up.
What?
How many tacos realistically could I eat in one sitting? Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Oh God, I haven't seen that in a while.
How many? What kind of tacos are we talking?
That's what I'm saying.
Taco Bell tacos.
Like, are we talking like just like little bullshit white people tacos? Or are we talking like street tacos? Or are we talking like homemade tacos with rice and everything? Because I like rice in my tacos.
Back in the day, back in the late 80s, early 90s, when Taco Bell wasn't on every corner like it is now.
Dude, it's crazy. I searched that shit up when we were at the hotel for the wedding. Holy fuck. There's literally like 30 of them within like 7 miles.
They used to have a thing, back in the day when you had
I haven't had Condado tacos. Everybody keeps telling me to go. I need to try it.
But they had, the placemat that was on the tray that you threw away, and it had like stats and stuff. And it said something about somebody eating 20 tacos in one sitting.
I can do that.
I was like, okay. I was like 18. So it was,
Taco Bell tacos, I could eat 20 easy.
I said, okay, give me 20 tacos. I ate them.
Nothing.
I mean, granted, I didn't feel great, but it wasn't like I was, what's the hot dog? Looked like I just got done with Nathan's hot dog eating contest. I'm not puking up anything. So.
Oh, there you go. Lamont's in here. Lamont can speak to my huge street taco cooking dick. I can make the fuck out of some tacos, boy.
I like tacos, meaty tacos, where it's not all tortilla.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, I have to have a good ratio.
Like,
if I want a lot of tortilla ratio, I'll just make a fucking quesadilla.
Well, exactly. But, we all, when I go to my favorite place to eat, which you know where that is, and you know what I eat, that is how I want a taco.
Yeah.
It's a wrap, but it's mostly meat and goodies inside.
Well, it's just like it's the same way with like Indian food.
Right.
Like I love Indian food or like Mediterranean food and shit. Just give me the stuff and then give me bread to use as it's basically just cutlery.
Right. So
I'll have to make you fucking some chicken tacos sometime. My chicken tacos are fucking banging.
Oh, I love chicken tacos.
Oh my God, ask Lamont sometime. Lamont, he's been around for him. I make my own fucking salsa verde and guacamole and get the good cheese. I don't use that shredded cheese.
I don't like guacamole.
Well, I mean, you don't have to put it on there.
Okay, remember,
the salsa verde is fucking
I'm a picky
good,
bitch. But that is what we want to do with the
tacos are more iconic than burgers. Fuck burgers. I love a good burger, but I'll take tacos pretty much any time over a burger. Burgers are just played out and plain. Right. Unless I'm making it myself. Like I made it one at work. Oh my God, I had like onion straws and like chipotle mayo and pepper jack cheese and like really, really crispy bacon. And I put some fucking, what else did I put on it? I mixed, I made this sauce. It was like mayonnaise, A1, Miracle Whip, mayonnaise, A1, mustard, and I like diced up some pickle and put it in there. It was so good. But as we all know, I'm a cooking motherfucker. Well, as anybody who actually knows me knows.
Right. The man can cook. If he had bigger tits, I'd marry him.
Shit, I don't know, man. I'm putting weight back on. Give me a couple months.
But that is what we want to do with the...
But to answer your question...
Go ahead.
I'm going to say I could eat, maybe not even easily, but like a taco like I like my tacos, I'd say I could knock out 10 of mine. Now, the place I go for tacos, probably not, because they fucking load you up.
It's like Chipotle. A burrito from Chipotle. There's a lot. Those are not too small. Those are pretty big.
They're just, but like each end is all tortilla.
Right, but they're that big around, that long.
Like macaque. and filled with
Did I go that big
weird
around
tasting.
that long?
No, fat and long, and then filled with
But
weird tasting
I've
cheese-like substance.
I've done 2 of those with no problem.
Oh yeah,
that's easy.
oh yeah, I could pound 2 fucking Taco Bell burritos.
And that's probably 10 tacos of.
But Taco Bell is like the Chinese food of Hispanic food.
It's not even Hispanic food.
Well, you know what I mean.
Right.
Like, it's that, because, like, I can go to a Chinese buffet and eat 4 fucking plates and I'm hungry in an hour. It's the same fucking thing. Like, I can eat so much Taco Bell and either I'm going to be hungry or I'm going to be on the toilet all night.
Yeah. Okay. Enough about tacos. The horror movie show is coming soon. We're going to watch The Unholy. We're going to, maybe this upcoming weekend, we'll set some time. Or I'll put it on my computer.
We'll figure something out. I mean, I know Wednesday's my only day off this week. I know that.
But we will watch that. I started watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the redo, or the one with Matthew Bomer.
I haven't seen it. I know what you.
I lasted about 5 fucking minutes.
You gotta have a good director for those.
And I did the reboot of the original with who's it? Jessica Biel was in that one.
Yeah,
it was on.
That one was.
I was going to watch it. I was going to watch it. I saw it on the guide.
I watched that whole movie, so there's that.
But that was what we want to do with that show. Just critique it and, talk about it, the hokiness, or if it was good, what we liked about it.
Oh, and if they're fish tacos, I can only eat one because I'm monogamous.
Yes. Okay. But that is
it?
That will be on the horror show episodes will be on Patreon only, except for maybe a clip. Maybe we'll play in our bullshit session of our live streams.
Yeah, if I start screaming about something, that'll probably get clipped out for YouTube.
Well, that will save that for the YouTube.
Are you fucking kidding?
Yes. But that is where we want to go. We might, once things start calming down a little bit, maybe try to do, a shit show every now and then.
Yeah.
In the next couple of
weeks. I might
be
able to knock one out sometime this week.
I have to see what my
schedule's weird this week. Like, I do normal opens Saturday and Sunday. So I'll be off at 4 on Saturday and Sunday. Give or take.
Well, maybe we can do, live stream.
Yeah, as long as everything works out.
Yeah.
My shit's always kind of up in the air for like an hour before or after my off time.
Oh, actually, I like the name. It becomes a horrible horror. That could be a good name for that segment or that episode.
I've been sitting there thinking about, like, because we have to have names for our Patreon shows. I figured we could do one more than one.
Oh, yeah.
Like my favorite, Necronomipod does Bible Babble.
Right.
It's already taken. I could totally do that, but it's taken.
But, horrible horror, that would be a good name. Episode 1, The Unholy.
It's not a bad start.
I like it. We might use it. But that is where we're
going. Put
a
W in front of one of them. Horrible horror.
We can do whatever you want. I don't give a rat's ass.
Just because I'm immature.
Well, we are immature. We've been told that.
And insulting.
Yes, we are. But we are still in the top.
And we're not everybody's cup of tea.
We're still in the top 250 in France. We love you, France.
Is that the only one we're in the top 250 in right now?
Yes.
Nice.
But that is going to, I guess that's going to wrap up this episode. What time is it?
We got an hour and a half. Well, hour and 20.
I don't know what we're going to do next Monday or next episode. We'll figure
something out.
Maybe we'll go do a cryptid, or if we haven't done a UFO, let's do UFO or something to that effect. Or we could just do a shit show.
We could do like Project High Jump or something. We could do a shit show.
We could just make it a shit show and do some paranormal headlines.
Or just headlines in general.
Yeah. Just make it fuck off hour.
They are fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Plus, they're easy for me because I don't edit any of that shit.
True.
For those of you watching the YouTube video, if you don't like all this bullshit that we've done, most of the time I cut out a lot of this. Like last week's episode, our tirade.
Especially when like we have an episode that is really subject based.
Right.
Like this one, we can leave it in. I don't really care, because not that it was a bad subject. It's just like, it's not as much of a cerebral dive for us.
Right.
It's not something like good topic, good thing to talk about. Interesting.
Horrible horror.
I was thinking horrible. WHOREIBLE. Horrible horror.
We could work on that. We could use that. But yeah, like last week's episode, I think I took out what we did, like 2 hours and 20 minutes, something like that.
Did we?
2 hours and 15 minutes.
Because it was like 2 hours.
It was over 2 hours. I got it down to like 143.
Was it 143? That was like almost two.
On the audio version.
Yeah, I thought it was still almost 2 hours.
No, it was well under.
Was it?
Oh. Yeah, hold on. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what the exact runtime is. I can do that kind of shit. Hour and 51 minutes.
I was more right than you.
I just said under 240, 143, somewhere. I was like 7 minutes.
And
off.
I said closer to 2 hours, so that means I was right.
No, I was
wrong.
I was 8 off. You were 9 off.
You are Madeline, and I am fucking Danny DeVito. I'm big, you're little. I'm smart, you're dumb.
Yes.
I'm right,
But
you're wrong.
Point I'm getting at, if you audio listeners want the whole unedited version, go over to YouTube at Ghost of the Night, search us, or it's in the link in the show notes, and click that, and be sure to subscribe for all the extra or full uncut versions of these episodes.
It's pretty much just these episodes, but less politically correct.
Well, I just don't cut anything out of the video. I just cut out the beginning.
Yeah.
You know,
if we rant, we rant.
I mean, once the intro starts, it's all on.
Yeah.
I don't cut any of the YouTube.
Because I was thinking I wouldn't mind having a different intro for the Patreon too, just because why not?
Well, if
we can slap one together.
Like I said, the intro is going to be a little bit different. You know, I want some verbiage in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the beat we got now, or we have a beat that we can use.
We got a couple.
I just want, some welcome to Ghost of the Night, or
yeah. Actually, I need that other person to email us that audio file.
But I like the video version. That's over what we got now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's way better than the original one. Like there was nothing wrong with the original one, but once you put them next to each other,
yeah. I mean, it's more professional. I wouldn't go that far, but it's.
So basically, what you're saying is we're gift wrapping a pile of shit here.
Hey, just because it's a pile of shit, you can still dress in a tuxedo.
That's fair.
It's a good looking pile of shit.
That's fair.
That's
I'm sexy and I know it. And you're sexy when you blow it. And we're out. Have a good night. Go fuck yourselves. Tip your waitresses. Shit.
You missed it. All right. Be sure to follow us on Instagram. Where is the Instagram one? I can't see it.
Second one from the top.
There we go.
There we go.
That is where you get Travis. Most of Travis shit. He handles it.
Well, it's on the Twitter now, too.
But, yeah.
I've posted everything I've posted since I logged into the Twitter on
but
Instagram.
You're not going to answer a lot of DMs on Instagram, probably. Or you answered DMs on that. You probably won't do
I
that.
would. We haven't gotten any, I don't think.
Like I said, most likely if you interact with us on Instagram, you're interacting with Travis. But that Ghost_Night_podcast, that is really probably one of the better ways to get a hold of us.
Clickable links?
What?
Are these clickable links?
No, they're just pictures.
Oh, that'd be sick if they were clickable.
They're just basically pictures.
We hit 2,600 on Twitter.
I know. Twitter, we are at 2,600 at least as of right before the podcast.
We're going to get off here and there's going to be like 4.
Yeah. But Twitter is at night_ghost, and we are on Facebook at Ghost in the Night. Now, I pretty much do all the Facebook stuff, so it's really, and I do a lot of the Twitter stuff too, but he's posting more on Twitter as well. Facebook, we might start going live on YouTube and Facebook for these live streams like we used to, because I always did it on Facebook.
Or Swippity. I would say Swippity Swappity Swap between that and Instagram, but I feel like we'll get kicked off Instagram.
Instagram was, I don't know what the hell happened with Instagram that last time we tried.
Even though it's the same fucking company, but we just didn't have sound. I don't know what the fucking problem was.
I don't know what it was. But
because I'd like to give Instagram a shot again just to see.
Your first episode actually was live on Facebook, not YouTube. It was the next one, or maybe it was 109 was your first one. Maybe by 111 we were YouTube only.
Turnbull Canyon was the first one.
Yeah. But that was live on Facebook.
Such a
So,
good time.
but that's at night, ghost in the night, whatever. Be sure to subscribe to all those. Follow us on all those as you fondle the ghost. What else we got?
Oh, that was kind of sick.
What else we got? I think that's about it. Oh, merch. We do have merch. I forget what the
We'll
link.
redo that to get a bigger fucking
We're
page for
gonna redo
that too.
Insert there, but the link to the merch shop is in the description. You want a paranormal T-shirt or a Ghost in the Night T-shirt,
Or a hoodie, or a fucking beanie, or
A
a
thermos.
fucking like one of those tote bags, or there's so much fucking shit on there.
Yeah, so that is where you can go to get the podcast merch or just some paranormal merch. So we are officially out of here. Thank you to everybody who joined us in the live stream. Thank you to everybody who has listened to this on your favorite podcast app, whether it be Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. I said Stitcher.
My butthole.
TuneIn, I believe.
It's like I said,
Podbean.
I'm finding out that we're on shit that I've never even fucking heard of.
Yes. However you're listening to this, or you're just listening to it on the internet, whatever.
Amazon.
Amazon. Yes, we are on Amazon. I didn't know that. But thank you. We appreciate each and every one of you. Be sure to follow, subscribe, all that, rate and review. Give us 5 stars because we like 5. And be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is most important. We didn't get any new subscribers this week. Well, we got 1. But we lost 1, so it was a net gain of 0.
Bitches.
Fuckers. All right. We will see you next Monday for sure. Maybe there might be a shit show before that, but probably next Monday will be, or next Sunday maybe. We might move to Sunday. We'll have to figure it out. Episode 151 will probably be a shit show.
They all are, really.
Well, this is a little bit more organized shit show.
Yeah, it's just whether it's actually called a shit show or
All right.
not.
We'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.